Hello everyone, this is Jennifer HANDA and I'm going to discuss about the political dimension and the essential task of curriculum development.
Hi, this is Jennifer and we're going to discuss about the political dimension and essential tasks of curriculum development. But first, let us define what is curriculum. The term curriculum refers to the lessons and academic content taught in a school or in a specific course or program. In dictionaries, curriculum is often defined as the courses offered by a school, but it is rarely used in such a general sense in schools. Other defined curriculum typically refers to the knowledge and skills students are expected to learn, which includes the learning standards or the learning objectives they are expected to meet, the units and lessons that the teachers teach, the assignment and projects given to students, the book, materials, videos, presentations, and readings used in a course, and the tests, assessment, and other methods used to evaluate student learning. John Dewey's point of view about curriculum, he points out that there are few key problems with the educational curriculum. These problems stem from lack of connection between the student's mind and curriculum. And to get a clear understanding of what curriculum entails, consideration of the 7 key dimensions of curriculum is necessary. So what are those 7 key dimensions of curriculum? First, we have philosophical dimension. Second, we have historical dimension. Third, we have ethical or moral dimension. And fourth, we have cultural dimension. Fifth, we have the global dimension. Sixth, we have technological dimension. And the last one, we have political dimension. We're going to focus more on political dimension. What do we mean by political dimension in curriculum? According to Apple, schooling is through and through politics. We witness it repeatedly in the constant battles over goals, fundings, whose knowledge is or is not included, and who should decide. Phillips and Hawthorne state that curriculum design, development, and evaluation are all political behavior. The state holds responsibility for education through the following. We have first, legislative mandates the time spent in school, textbook adaptation, state government approval of the curriculum, and the government certification of teachers, administrators, and supervisor by approval of college and university program. Although the state or the government is responsible for making educational decisions, our task is not to reject the politics of curriculum, but to recognize how politics works, use it, and recognize what is at stake. Looking back the political dimension of the Philippine curriculum, we have first the Magellan times. During these times, informal, unstructured, and devoid methods are used. Children were provided more vocational training and less academic, the 3 R's, by their parents and in the houses of the tribal tutors. Next, we have the Spanish system. During the Spanish period, education was religion-oriented. It was only for the elite, liberalized through the enactment of the Educational Decree of 1863, provided for the establishment of at least one primary school for boys and girls in each town under the responsibility of the municipal government, establishment of a normal school for male teachers under the supervision of the Jesuits. Primary instruction was free and the teaching of Spanish was compulsory. Next, we have the Malolos Constitution. Here, a system of free and compulsory elementary education was established. Next, we have the Schumann Commission. During this time, an adequate, secularized, and free public school system. When we have the Taft Commission. In the Taft Commission, English as a medium of instruction is used during the teaching and learning process. And we have the 1901 Philippine Commission. Here, 600 American teachers were brought to the Philippines, the Thomasites, to educate the Filipino people. And we have the Commonwealth period. In the Commonwealth period, it established the Commonwealth Act 586, also known as the Educational Act of 1940. It reorganized the elementary school system. Then we have the Japanese education, or Japanese era. During this time, the teaching of Tagalog, Philippine history, and character education was reserved for Filipinos. Love for work and dignity of labor was emphasized. Education during pre-martial law. Here, the two plan which provided common curriculum in the first and second years, vocational curricula were implemented. And we have the education under the new society. What do we mean by this one? So President Marcos formulated a 10-year national education development program and 1973 revised secondary education program that is under the education under new society. Now we have the new elementary school curriculum, or the NESC. What do we mean by this one? So during 1930s, fewer learning areas, emphasizes on the mastery learning, more time allotment for the basic skills. That is the main concern of the curriculum during the new elementary school curriculum implementation. Then the new secondary education curriculum, or the NSEC, here, it to improve performance in the science, math, and communication, focus on process, values development, and productivity and technology. Next, we have the 2002 Basic Education Curriculum. So the main goal or purpose of this curriculum is to empower lifelong learning through attainment of functional literacy, the 5 learning areas, the Filipino, English, Science, Math, and Makabayan. The implementation of the 2002 Basic Education Curriculum was announced in DepEd Order number 25 series of 2002 issued on June 17, 2002. Then less than a year later, on June 12, 2003, a new curriculum, we called it the Revised Basic Education Curriculum, or RBEC, was signed into law. And now we have the K-12 curriculum. So K-12 Basic Education Curriculum is an education system that aims to enhance learners' basic skills, produce more competent citizens, and prepare graduates for lifelong learning and employment. The government passed the Republic Act No. 10157, also known as the Kindergarten Education Act of 2012, on January 20, 2012, making kindergarten mandatory for all learners, and Republic Act No. 10533, otherwise known as the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, last May 15, 2013, that added 2 years of senior high to broaden the goal in high school education for college preparation. At present, the Philippines is the last country in Asia and one of only 3 countries in the world with a 10-year pre-university program. Next, let's discuss about the essential tasks in curriculum development. So we have here an illustration about the essential tasks in curriculum development. So we have first the purpose, second is the goal, third is the objectives, next is the needs focusing, curriculum alignment, and we have the delivery to student. Let's talk about purpose. So what do we mean by purpose in the essential tasks in curriculum development? So when we say purpose, establishing the philosophy of the school or of the curriculum. Absence of educational philosophy can result to disjointed and fragmented educational program. So, the curriculum development purpose must be anchored to the educational philosophy. Set the direction of the various educational programs, and it should be clear and documented. It is the base of decision-making in education. So, when you say purpose in the essential task in curriculum development, it is very important because this is the base of our decision making in the education system of our country, or of making our curriculum development. Next, we have goals. What do we mean by goals? So when you say goals, these are the statement of the intended outcomes of our educational program. So we state our intended outcomes of every educational program that we delivered, or we make, we design. The scope of the educational program and derived from the philosophy of the district. Then, when we talk about goals, there are levels of goals for educational planning. First, it should be broad and philosophical. Number 2, it should be more specific. Number 3, it should be objectives specified to classroom level. Next, we have objectives. What do you mean by objectives? So, a statement describes the learner's behavior during the learning process. So, we have 3 essential elements. We have the terminal behavior. Number 2, the condition of expected behavior, and the criteria of acceptable performance. Then, when you say also about objective, it is a tool for ordering the curriculum. In making the curriculum, we should have our objective in the 3 taxonomies of learning. It should be cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Needs focusing. So when you say needs focusing, diagnosis of the needs. So what needs to be taught? You should reflect on that. We should reflect on the needs of our learners so that we can create a curriculum suited for them. Then we have curriculum alignment. When you say curriculum alignment, it is the selection of content, organization of content, and content should align with the curriculum objective. Then last, we have the student delivery. So when you say student delivery, we have the organization of learning experiences and the determination of what to evaluate and of the ways and means of doing it. So that's it for the essential tasks in curriculum development. So before I end my topic, we have here a quotation: life as a teacher begins the day you realize that you are always a learner. So thank you for listening and have a good day.